Hi everybody, and welcome back to our Daily Victory. Today I want to address another one of the very most common questions that I get, and that is about how you're supposed to sleep. So everybody's got a different kind of bed, everybody has a different kind of mattress. Having a good quality mattress, first of all, is something that you just need to invest in, okay? So first things first, make sure that you have a good mattress to sleep on. I personally prefer the memory foam type of mattress because it does accommodate the contours of your body. It's just a much better technology. The ones with the air bladders inside them, there's really common ones that are customizable with different air pressures. That's not the kind that I prefer because of the way it changes. Because of the way it changes when you lay down on it, it's not necessarily supportive in the right way. So a good mattress, and preferably a memory foam type of mattress, is the one that I always recommend. It's not 100% necessary to have a memory foam mattress, but regardless of what kind of mattress you have, you still need to support yourself. As we all know by now, your spine is the thing that protects your nervous system, and your nervous system controls all of your body's functions. So it needs to be kept healthy. And you spend, hopefully, somewhere around 8 hours every single night sleeping, and you can either benefit your spine while you're sleeping, or you can spend 8 hours every night damaging your spine, and we do not want that. So we need to remember, first of all, that when you look at your spine from the front, it has to be straight. It has to be 100% straight. Any deviation from the middle puts pressure on the spinal cord and the nerves that control your body's functions. So when we're laying down, just like any other position, we need to make sure that it stays straight. Also, when you look at your spine from the side, I'll do the best I can here, there's a curve in your neck like this. It measures 40 to 45 degrees. There's also a natural curve in your lower back that's slightly less, it's more like 35 degrees. But the point is, you have to maintain those curves in your spine. So if you're spending 8 hours a night destroying the curves in your spine, then that's simply not good. You're just asking for trouble. So let's talk a little bit about what we can do to help keep our spine straight while we're sleeping. So I'm going to go ahead and lay down here on my side, which is, by the way, the preferable way of sleeping. And for your digestion's sake, by the way, lying on your left side is usually the better way to lie down. So that's why I'm going to demonstrate today. I'm going to be lying on my left side to demonstrate this. Remember, it's not the only way to sleep, it's just the way that I like the best, and I'll show you what to do with the other ways as well. Okay, so I'm going to lay here on my left side, and you can see the things that we need to look at. So, first of all, first thing I want you to do is notice that my knees are together right here. Most people don't do very well with their knees together like this. Your pelvis is squished together. You never stand with your knees smashed against each other like this. Almost nobody ever does. And the reason for it is it's not good for your hip joints or your pelvis. So the first thing I always recommend for everybody is to put a pillow between their knees. Okay, so you take this pillow, put it between our knees. It does two things. The first thing is to keep your knees separated so that your hips and your pelvis stay balanced. But the other thing is it tends to prevent you from doing stuff like this, which a lot of people tell me that they do out of habit and don't even realize it. You do not want to do that while you're sleeping. Look how twisted my pelvis is. You're just asking for trouble if you do that. So, having a pillow between your knees is a good way to deal with that. The next thing, let's just work our way up the spine. We've got a nice straight spine here. Our pelvis is 90 degrees to it. We have something in between our knees to maintain that. Great. So the middle part of the spine is exactly the same thing. You can't, if you're like this all day, everybody knows that that's bad. But particularly because of what it does to your spine and nervous system. And if you're sleeping like that, it's just as bad. So let's get back down here again. If I've got my shoulder hiked up like this and my other one's down here, this is not a good thing, obviously. So we want to make sure that our shoulders are 90 degrees to our spine. We have a nice straight spine all the way up and down, okay? So sometimes it's uncomfortable for people to be on their shoulder like this. So you need to support yourself. I always tell people to take a pillow like this. Some people have a spouse to wrap their arms around, and that works too. But if you wrap your arms around a pillow, it tends to take pressure off of the shoulder down here, and it's very comfortable. So one of the things that I use is a body pillow, the one that's a little bit longer. You can find them almost anywhere, but it goes in between my knees, and I wrap my arms around it too. So we kill two birds with one stone that way. So the last piece, when we're laying on our side, we have to look at keeping our head in the right position, because again, when we're sitting up, the neck is supposed to be upright, not leaned over like this, not leaned over like this. So when you're laying down, it's exactly the same thing. When you lay down, and look at how much space is here. Most people have one pillow that they're laying on, or they have way too many pillows that they're laying on. What you need, and I get this question a lot, what kind of pillow should I have? How much pillow should I have? What thickness, what firmness, etc. That's not even the right question to ask. The question you need to ask is, do I have the right amount of pillow to fill in this space right here to keep my head in a neutral position? Okay? If I don't have enough pillow, then my head is like this. Okay? Take the pillow away, this is what it looks like. That's not good. If I have too many pillows, I know some people that are sleeping on 3 or 4 pillows, then my head is jacked up like this, and that's just as bad. Okay? So you can't spend 8 hours a night like that. So you have to get just the right amount of pillow. So you may have to try it out a little bit. You may have to use 2 pillows. Some people do. I used 2 pillows for a long time because the type of mattress that I had, that's what did it for me. But you gotta have exactly the right amount of pillow to fill in all this space right here when you're laying down. Okay? So it needs to be all the way up against your head like this. The other thing is, I noticed that people are sleeping, they have enough pillow, but it's all the way out here. They've got their head on it like this, and then they have this empty space. Well, you might have enough pillow, but then your head droops down like this. So your pillow needs to be all the way against your shoulder where it really fills in all this space and keeps the head neutral. Okay? So when you're laying on your side, that's what you should see. Your spine is supported in a neutral position. You've got a 90-degree angle of your shoulders to your spine and of your pelvis to your spine. You're keeping your spine straight and healthy while you're sleeping. Okay? When you're laying on your side too, a lot of people get in that fetal position and they're curled up like this. Well, if you spent your entire day like this, obviously that would not be very comfortable. That's damaging your spine because the curves are gone. So you need to be laying down in a neutral position. It's kind of hard to demonstrate this, so I have to do it sitting up. You need to not have your head tucked down like this while you're sleeping. It needs to be in a neutral position that maintains this curve in your spine. Same thing for your lower back, so don't forget that. Now, if you're going to lay on your back, you have to think about the same thing. Now, it's a lot easier to address the front to back stuff, but keeping the spine straight when you're laying on your back. But those curves in your spine, you really have to think about maintaining those. So you're going to have the right amount of support if you're going to lay on your back, which is the only other way that I recommend laying on when you're sleeping. Don't ever lay on your stomach. There's the answer to your question. Don't ever lay on your stomach. Don't try to convince me that you have this special pillow that makes it okay. Don't try to convince me that you have this special mattress or you have some kind of special technique that makes it okay to sleep on your stomach. It is not okay to sleep on your stomach. We can do a whole separate video on why you shouldn't lay on your stomach. But if you lay on your stomach, you have to turn your head to the side. Your lower back has way too much pressure on it. Just don't do it. It's not good for you. Don't lay on your stomach. 100%. That's it. If you have a habit of laying on your stomach, here's something that you can do. You can take some ladies' stockings. They're very stretchy, they're soft, and they're not too thick. So put a tennis ball into the end of one of those stockings and then tie it around your waist and where the tennis ball sits right here on your stomach. Tie several knots in it so that while you're sleeping you don't unconsciously untie the thing to get rid of it. And if that tennis ball is right here in that stocking, the stockings are soft enough where they won't constrict you around your waist, but they're enough to hold that thing in place. And if you roll over on your stomach and on top of that tennis ball is not comfortable, and that always works to help people stop sleeping on their stomach. So there's a tip for you. But laying on your side and laying on your back is okay. If you're going to lay on your back, here's a couple of things that you should know. So I'm going to lay on my back now. the curve in my neck that we talked about needs to be supported. If I'm just laying flat on the bed, on the mattress, we've got this space in here, and invariably you're going to sink down into that space. And then the curve in my neck is destroyed. So you have to have something that will support this curve in your neck. So there's a few ways you can do this. Now, I've got a foam wedge right here. I don't recommend that you use these unless they're recommended for you by your physician. This is one is very specific, and these are a little bit more firm, and they need to be the right size and shape for you. So I wouldn't use the foam roll unless it's given to you by your physician, preferably your chiropractor that does corrective work in the spine and knows exactly the type of support that you need. So this is one way that you can do it. I also have another option. This is a very technical piece of equipment here. This is a bath towel that I just rolled up just like this. It's about the right size to support the curve in your neck when you're just laying flat on your back. So I lay on my back, have this here, and it supports the curve in my neck very, very comfortably. And you can sleep like this all night and you won't hurt yourself. It's extremely comfortable. If you like sleeping on your back, this is a really, really great option. I do not typically recommend using a pillow if you sleep on your back. There's lots of them that are contoured. There's lots of sizes and shapes and all these fancy things that you can spend hundreds of dollars on. Something like this, a roll just to put under your neck to maintain the health of your spine and eliminate the pillow altogether if you're going to lay on your back. That is my recommendation for you. If you're sleeping with 2 or 3 pillows behind your head, and that's just pushing your head forward and it's destroying that curve in your neck, which we've already talked about, and that is the worst possible thing that you can do. So if you just lay flat on the bed like I showed you, then that's going to destroy the curve in your neck as well. So something simple like this, just a rolled up towel works. If you have a pillow that's just that's a really narrow one like this, something really simple is the best thing to do to support. If your chiropractor recommends one to support the curve in your lower back as well, then you definitely want to use that. Always follow your recommendations so that you can maintain your spinal health. But if that hasn't been recommended for you, then it's okay to leave that out for the lower back. Usually the mattress will fill in the space to maintain the curve in your lower back. You may want to put a pillow underneath your knees, like so, to take a little bit of pressure off of your lower back and your hips and pelvis while you're sleeping. Some people like to do that, and that's totally fine. So this is what it should look like if you're on your back. If you're on your side, remember all those things that I showed you, and hopefully that will answer your questions. Remember, 100%, never sleep on your stomach. You're on your side, make sure you support the curves and the normal attitude of your spine when you look at it from the front. If you're laying on your back, make sure that you have something to support the curve in your neck, possibly something to put underneath your knees. Stop worrying about the pillows so much, just think about the functionality of it and get the right amount of pillow to fill in that space like I showed you. Simple, practical things without spending hundreds and thousands of dollars are plenty to help you get the great night's sleep that you need. But I'll go back to my earlier recommendation. You really do want to have a good quality mattress. That's always the place to start. If you like this video, if you have more questions, then I want you to go to ourdailyvictory.com. While you're there, sign up for the newsletter because there is exclusive content in our newsletter that we only offer to our subscribers. But on our website, we have tons of other videos like this on lots of different subjects to help you and your family be as healthy as you possibly can be. If you have other more specific questions that are not answered on the website, then you're welcome to use the contact information on Our Daily Victory. Hit that little contact icon, and you can send us an email and ask us any questions that you have. I hope that you enjoyed this. We will see you very soon.